Less than an hour ago, in the afternoon of Tuesday, February 11th, 2025, President Trump gave myself and the rest of America a great present. He signed another executive order giving the Department of DOGE even more constitutional power to order all federal agencies to work with DOGE and the heads of those agencies that have been tasked to investigate fraud, waste, and abuse. And the Democrats have gone completely insane, saying Trump has no authority to do that, even though it's all cut and dry in Article 1 and in Article 2 in the subsections of the Constitution. We had this judge over the weekend, this Obama judge, literally come out in his order and say, the Secretary of the Treasury can't look at computers and can't report any corruption, and any corruption he found, he must destroy under the judge's order. Now, obviously, this activism is going to blow up in their face big time. But the first of several clips I want to play from this incredible talk and 2-hour press conference after he signed it was Trump saying, oh, I always comply with the courts. We're going to appeal these actions, but all these judges are doing is buying time for the corrupt individuals to try to cover up their tracks because they never thought we'd win the election or actually go after corruption. They thought that, like past Republicans, they just come in and take over the corruption and get a bigger piece of the pie. No, this is a real revolution to dismantle this bureaucratic tyranny. Then another clip coming up is Elon explaining, look, we have a fourth branch of government that's unelected. It's called bureaucracy, and it's killing the democracy of the people. Now, we're a constitutional republic, little d democracy, but it is representative democracy, and it's absolutely true that your representatives, your executive branch, is what administers this, not these arrogant, spoiled, kleptocratic bureaucrats. There's over 1.5 million NGOs. 1.1 million of them are Democrat leftists on record. Almost all the money goes to them, 93%. The numbers came out last week. And when you go look at it, the Congress people, the senators, the leftist governors, mayors, they've all got husbands, wives, kids, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, you name it, on the payroll of these non-governmental organizations, these NGOs, and the money's just blasting out. Like the judge in Rhode Island that came out yesterday and put an order in saying Trump can't block any of these grant payments, even though countless ones have been proven to be fraud, going to people with no names, with no contractor, no record. And it turns out his daughter is high-level administrator at the Department of Education and is connected to everything. Talk about conflicts of interest. This is wild. So that's why they're so desperate to stop all of this. Here's some of the amazing highlights of this historic event. Today's my birthday, and I got to tell you, this is a wonderful birthday present from President Trump, Elon Musk, and from the American people to me personally, but also to yourselves, to see real revolution in action.
And we're going to be signing a very important deal today. It's DOGE, and I'm going to ask Elon to tell you a little bit about it and some of the things that we found, which are shocking. Billions and billions of dollars in waste, fraud, and abuse. We want to weed out the corruption, and it seems hard to believe that a judge could say, we don't want you to do that. Well, so maybe we have to look at the judges, because that's very serious. I think it's a very serious violation.
If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House, then we don't live in a democracy. We live in a bureaucracy. If you asked to look at the founders today and said, what do you think of the way things have turned out? Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want. So what I really want to say is, it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential. There are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. If you look at, say Treasury, for example, basic controls that should be in place that are in place in any company, such as making sure that any given payment has a payment categorization code, that there is a comment field that describes the payment, and that if a payment is on the do not pay list, that you don't actually pay it. None of those things are true currently. Cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone who's 150? I don't know. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. So, that's a case where, I think they're probably dead. And then there's a whole bunch of Social Security payments where there's no identifying information. Well, why is there no identifying information? Obviously, we want to make sure that people who deserve to receive Social Security do receive it, and that they receive it quickly and accurately. I'll tell you another crazy thing. So, one of the things is we are trying to sort of right-size the federal bureaucracy, just make sure that this, obviously there need to be a lot of people working for the federal government, but not as many as currently. So we're saying, if people can retire, with full benefits and everything, that would be good. They can retire, get their retirement payments, everything. And then we were told, this is actually, I think, a great anecdote, because we were told the most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine. And what do you mean a mine? Yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures afterwards. And this mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955. At a high level, if you say how do we increase prosperity, is we get people to shift from roles that are low to negative productivity to high productivity roles. And so you increase the total output of goods and services, which means that there's a higher standard of living available for everyone. That's the actual goal. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what the people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. We actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the DOGE handle on X and to the DOGE website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent.
Are you policing yourself in that? Is there any sort of accountability check and balance in place that would provide any transparency for the American people?
Well, all of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say wait a second, hey, Elon, that seems like maybe that's, there's a conflict there. It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that. They'll say it immediately.
Including you yourself.
Yes. But transparency is what builds trust, not simply somebody asserting trust. So not somebody saying they're trustworthy, but transparency, so you can see everything that's going on.
Tens of billions of dollars that we've already found. And now a judge who's an activist judge wants to try and stop us from doing this. Why? Why would they want to do that? I campaigned on this. I campaigned on the fact that I said government is corrupt. And it is very corrupt. It's very, very, it's also foolish. As an example, a man has a contract for 3 months and the contract ends, but they keep paying him for the next 20 years, because nobody ends a contract. You get a lot of that. And when you get down to it, it's going to be probably close to $1 trillion. It could be close to $1 trillion that we're going to find. We have a case in New York where a hotel has paid $59 million, $59 million because it's housing migrants, illegal migrants, all illegal, I believe.
And they were being paid twice the normal room rate at 100% occupancy.
Unbelievable.
So it's a racket.
Yeah.
I fully expect to be scrutinized and get a daily proctology exam, basically. Might as well just camp out there.
I know this. We're finding tremendous fraud and tremendous abuse. If I need a vote of Congress to find fraud and abuse, it's fine with me. I think we'll get the vote, although there'll be some people that wouldn't vote. And how could a judge want to hold us back from finding all of this fraud and finding all of this incompetence? Why would that happen? Why would even Congress want to do that? Now, Congress, if we do need a vote, I think we'd get a very easy vote because we have a track record now. We've already found billions of dollars of abuse, incompetence, and corruption. A lot of corruption.
If a judge does block one of your policies, part of your agenda. Will you abide by that ruling? Will you comply
Well, I
with that
always
order?
abide by the courts, and then I'll have to appeal it. But then what he's done is he slowed down the momentum, and it gives crooked people more time to cover up the books. You know, if a person's crooked and they get caught, other people see that, and all of a sudden it becomes harder later on. So, yeah, the answer is I always abide by the courts, always abide by them, and will appeal. But appeals take a long time, and I would hope that a judge, if you go into a judge and you show him, here's a corrupt situation, we have a check to be sent, but we found it to be corrupt. Do you want us to send this corrupt check to a person, or do you want us not to give it and give it back to the taxpayer? I would hope a judge would say, don't send it, give it back to the taxpayer.